Welcome to Tea, Toast, and Trivia. I'm Rebecca Budd, and I am looking forward to sharing this moment with you. This episode is all about tea, and it's a very special tea. It's called English breakfast. There's something comforting about the sound of a kettle coming to life, that soft rumble before the boil. The quiet anticipation before the pour. The aroma that rises from the cup, a promise that the day is beginning again. I am returning to the simple things that sustain us. A cup of tea, a slice of toast, and the small trivia that reminds us that life is stitched together by stories, both great and small. So, English breakfast tea, a blend so familiar it feels eternal, yet whose history winds its way through Scotland, America, and the reign of Queen Victoria herself. It is said that the first version of this very hearty tea was blended by a Scottish tea merchant named Robert Drysdale in the 19th century. He wanted to create something strong enough to accompany a full Scottish breakfast. Eggs, bacon, sausages, and toast. And so he did. He created what he said was English breakfast tea. He called it Scottish breakfast tea. At any rate, when Queen Victoria tasted it during her visit to Balmoral Castle in Scotland, she brought the blend back to England, where it became known as English breakfast tea. A tea fit for a queen, and for the rest of us who crave a little strength and warmth to begin the day. Each sip carries the spirit of invention and comfort, the balance between boldness and gentleness, between waking and resting, between who we are and who we are becoming. That is English breakfast tea, or should we say Scottish breakfast tea? I will leave that to you. Now, no cup of tea, of course, is complete without toast. And for me, that means buttered toast with a sprinkle of sugar and cinnamon. My mother made it that way, toasting the bread in the oven until the edges curled ever so slightly, the butter bubbling, the air filled with sweetness. She told us that cinnamon came from a faraway place, Sri Lanka, India, Ceylon, and it felt like adventure had arrived right on our breakfast plate. Toast, after all, is more than bread. It's transformation, the meeting of fire and grain, the alchemy of ordinary ingredients turned golden. A quiet act of care that says, "You are home." As we sip and savor, we journey back to the origins of breakfast itself. In ancient Egypt, they began their day with bread, beer, and onions before heading out into their workday. In Homer's Odyssey, breakfast was prepared before daily chores, a time to gather strength before the sun climbed too high. During the Middle Ages, breakfast was often seen as unnecessary, even indulgent. It was only later, during the Industrial Revolution, that breakfast took on a new meaning. A meal to fortify workers for long days in the mills and factories. Tea entered the story as both comfort and necessity, a companion to bread, porridge, or bacon. By the time the Victorians embraced the ritual, breakfast had become a symbol of domestic order, conversation, and calm. The table was set, the kettle steamed, and the day began, one cup at a time. The comfort of morning lies not in grand gestures, but in small consistencies. The mug that fits just right in your hands, the familiar clink of the spoon, the sunlight tracing patterns on the tablecloth. These details become the framework of our days, tiny rituals that remind us we are alive and that renewal is always possible. Whether we rise early or linger late, morning asks the same gentle question: what will you make of today? So pour yourself a cup of tea, toast your bread, take a moment before the day begins. You are part of an ancient story, one that begins again every morning. Sometimes the smallest rituals are the most profound. A cup of tea, a slice of toast, a quiet moment before the day begins. This is where meaning begins to brew. So until next time, dear friends, keep the conversation going, one cup at a time.